2, 1. It's going right. Yep. Hello, everybody. My name is FinnJJS, and welcome to a Madden experiment. Now, if you watched any of my other videos, you know that I usually don't have this lisp. I can't pronounce S's. So there are going to be some names and some words that I pronounce very incorrectly. And, you know, that's just how it is. It's so annoying. It's guys that help me. Just a couple days ago, I got my bottom set for my braces, and then they added something on the back of my front teeth because I got like an overbite or something. Not an apparent one, but like something in my like an overbite in my mouth, and apparently it's keeping my mouth from doing that. Something I don't know. It's trying to form an actual normal mouth for me, I guess, something like that. And since that thing is sticking back in my teeth, it's hitting my tongue whenever I do that. Whenever I say any word with S's. But yeah. So I just want to get that out of the way. So, if you read the title, which I don't know if you did because it's incredibly long. What if the best player from every team went to their division rival? Now, there are some teams where I was like, is this their division rival? Is this their division rival? Or not? And there are a lot of teams here where I was like, is this their best player? Is this their best player? But there's also some teams that were like, oh yeah, this is obviously their best player. This list is getting very annoying because I don't usually talk this much. Alright, so... And also, by the way, I'm downloaded like a current roster or something, and like there are some things I noticed that the person got wrong. Like for some reason, Philip Lindsay is on the freaking Redskins. There are a couple problems here and there once in a while, but most of the time, if you see like a player go to a different team, it's probably me, and I'm about to explain that. So we're kind of just seeing if like two division rivals switch their best players, would it matter? Because like 49ers, what if they went without I can't even remember who I had as their best player. What if they went somewhere? What if but we're gonna go see all of that. Who did I have as the Niners' best player? I either had Kittle or Bosa as their best player. Alright, so let's go to depth chart. Let's go depth chart. It'll be a bit more fun. Look at Joe Burrow. Just look at his face. I can't believe what they did to my man. Alright, let's start with the Bears. So obviously Mitchell Trubisky isn't their guy. Probably neither is Foles. Isn't the best player. So I had their rival as the Minnesota Vikings. So, since they're with the Vikings, they are now losing. They lost a Khalil Mack. But while doing that, they gained Harrison Smith, which is something they obviously didn't quite need. Let's actually put Harrison Smith over Eddie Jackson, actually. Let's put him at strong safety. We're just making this defense so much better. Alright, hold on. Alright, now the Bengals. The Bengals are obviously huge rivals with the Steelers. I actually debated putting the Steelers with the Ravens and the Bengals with the Browns. But as a personal Cincinnati Bengals fan, I looked at it as like, alright, who do I hate more? Do I hate the Ravens more? Do I hate the Browns more? Or do I hate the Steelers more? The Bengals, the Ravens I actually kind of like. I just hate that they're our rival. I like a lot of their players. Like, I love Lamar. I like J.K. Dobbins, their new running back from Ohio State. I just like overall a lot of their players. But then it became between Steelers or Browns. And then I went down to a rating system. Alright, so from 1 to 10, how much do I like this team? The Bengals are 10. The Ravens are probably like a 5. Maybe even a 6. Then the Browns, I said at 2. I kind of like a couple of their players. I just really hate the team itself. Then I remembered I don't like a single player from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't like anything about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're freaking dirty fuckers. I just overall hate them so much. So yeah. So that means I went with the Steelers here. So who is the Bengals' best player? AJ Green's still here. Geno Atkins is still here. With DJ frick, I gave away who the Steelers player is. DJ Reader's here, which is a nice pickup by us, by the way. But our best player, in my opinion, was Mr. Joe Mixon. Now, does this help the Steelers out at all? Not really. Not quite. But does this help the Bengals a lot? Yes and no. Because they just lost one of the best running backs in the league. I will argue that Joe Mixon is a top 5 running back in the league. I will fight you. It's mainly just the only reason you don't see Mixon be like a top 2 running back when it comes to statistics is because that, little bit of this, some of that, and especially this right here. I hate this piece of garbage, Bobby Hurt, so much. So yeah. So Joe Mixon is at the Steelers, and if you couldn't tell before, we sent over TJ Watt. I was actually kind of debating whether to bring Juju over, but TJ Watt, he was like 2nd or 3rd running for Defensive Player of the Year, so to me it was kind of a no-brainer that it was TJ Watt. Up next with the Bills. Alright, the Bills. Their best player was kind of weirdly obvious to me. Hey, this guy was the my leader in sacks in one of my franchises. Frick. But the Bills, they lost the cornerback. And if you know... Wait a minute. Alright, so they did lose Tre'Davious White. For some reason I was thinking, I made this yesterday by the way, so there are some I forgot. So for a second there I was kind of thinking that they got Stephon Gilmore. No, that's the Dolphins. So who did they get? So they're obviously rivals with the Jets, and honestly the Jets only have 2 good players. One of them isn't even doing that good, so the obvious choice here was Jamal Adams. So yeah, they lost Tre'Davious White, but they ended up getting Jamal Adams, which is kind of evening it out. Jordan Poyer, who's their Micah Hyde. Alright, so they honestly didn't need a safety. Jordan Poyer. Can we put like Poyer 83? Yeah, Poyer would do good here. There we go. We fixed the Bills' defense just a little bit, even though it didn't need fixing at all. Ah, crap! I accidentally clicked out. Ah, my freaking. All right, up next the Broncos. Still got Drew Lock, obviously, and that means they lost. They did lose my guy Von Miller, because whenever I think of Broncos, I immediately think of Von Miller. Weirdly. But yeah. So I had them going with the Raiders. And so who are the Raiders' best player? I didn't quite know. I was kind of debating between a couple of players, but then at the end I just ended up going with Rodney Hudson. I feel like this could help the Broncos offense out a little bit, but it does really hurt their defense, losing Von Miller. Up next is the Browns. They went with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, so they got Lamar Jackson. This is probably going to make them the best team in the league, without a doubt. When did they get Case Keenum? Oh yeah, they did get Case Keenum. I completely forgot about that. And so, who did they lose? Obviously, Odell Beckham Jr. is here, Jarvis Landry is still here. So far, in my opinion, Odell isn't the best player, obviously, to me. They did end up losing the great helmet swinger, Myles Garrett. Alright, so now the Ravens are missing Lamar, but now they have Myles Garrett, making that defense even scarier, so that's going to be fun. Tampa Bay. I think I gave them... I think the rival to me was the Panthers. So the Bucks ended up losing. Alright, so since this is updated, they do have Robert Gronkowski. They do have Tom Brady. But just to me, I didn't feel like Tom Brady is their best player. I feel like he's going to have to prove himself a bit more. I feel like Gronk is definitely going to have to prove himself coming back into the NFL. So I went with who was their best player last year, and it was, of course, Mike Evans. And since they were with the rivals with the Panthers, or I put them with the Panthers, their only good player on that entire team is basically Christian McCaffrey. So yeah, this is going to be really good offense here. So they have Tom Brady, Christian McCaffrey, undoubtedly probably top running back in the league. Tom Brady probably one of at least top 10 maybe in the league. And then you still got Chris Godwin, Tyler Johnson. I don't quite know who that is. And then of course you got Robert Gronkowski and OJ Howard. This is going to be a deadly offense. Cardinals. Oh, there it is right there. I had them going with the 49ers, and they ended up getting George Kittle, but at the loss of DeAndre Hopkins. Wait, where the frick is, where is Larry Fitz? Okay, did he retire or something? I don't know what happened. So, some things are definitely messed up with this roster. So, yeah, they lost DeAndre Hopkins, but they gained undoubtedly probably a top 2 tight end in the league, and George Kittle. The Chargers, they gained... Alright, so they lost Joey Bosa. Yeah. Because Joey Bosa, I might be a little bit biased since he's from Ohio State. Might just be a little bit biased about this. But do you blame me? He's probably their best player. It's definitely in between him and Derwin James. There was a point in it where I was kind of like, should I maybe do Keenan Allen? But I ended up with Joey Bosa just because I'm a biased person. So yeah, they ended up, so they lost Joey Bosa. So that means they were with the Chiefs. So that means they ended up getting the best quarterback in the NFL. The Chargers have picked up Patrick Mahomes, which is going to be probably really good. Patrick Mahomes and Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry, that should be a pretty good. And Austin Eckler, yeah, this could be a very good team. Yeah, but that loss of Joey Bosa might hurt a little bit. Alright, the Chiefs, yeah, we just went over what happened to them. They lost Patrick Mahomes, but they ended up gaining Joey frackin' Bosa. So yeah, this defense did get that, probably really improved them, honestly. I accidentally like that. That probably helped them a bit. The Patrick Mahomes missing is definitely going to hurt, but their defense is going to be good at least. Alright, the Colts. I think I took away Quentin Nelson. Yes, I did. I took away Quentin Nelson, and I had them with the Titans. Yeah, I had them with the Titans, so they ended up getting Derrick Henry. So yeah, I think that's an absolute win for the Colts there. I was really debating on who to put at who was the Colts' best player, because they do have a bunch of good players. Phillip Rivers, I probably wouldn't argue their best player. Marlon Mack is really good, but I didn't really think he was quite the best. I was really debating T.Y. Hilton. And I also was kind of going towards DeForest Buckner a bit too. I honestly kind of forgot about Darius Leonard. So he wasn't really in the run just because I kind of forgot about him accidentally. I don't know how I did. They ended up getting Xavier Rhodes. I don't remember them getting that. I don't know. Maybe they did. But yeah, this is an absolute win for the Colts. Let's go to the practice squad. Just let's look at practice squad here. Oh, they got my boy Chad Kelly. If you don't know about the GOAT himself, Chad Kelly, you don't know. He is an absolute Chad. Cowboys. Who did I put at their best player? Mark Cooper. Alright, they still have DeMarcus Lawrence. So that means I probably went with Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, I did. He's like been a top 3 running back for his entire career. So it kind of just made a lot of sense to me that he is going to win this. That he's just going to be this. And I had him going up with the Redskins, I think. And honestly, do the Redskins even have any good players? So I think I just ended up going with Ryan Kerrigan. So yeah, the Cowboys got a big loss here. But like, I didn't know who to put as their best player. Like, they don't have any good players at all. I was kind of thinking, Darius Geis, but I just ended up not doing that. This lisp is really killing me. Alright, Dolphins. Patrick Lyard. They have Isaiah McKenzie. Isn't he supposed to be like really fast? I remember him being fast, yes. Alright, Dolphins. I had him with the Patriots, which means that they ended up getting Stephon Gilmore. And so now this is probably a beast here, but I think I ended up giving them a Byron Jones just because I didn't know who to put there. I was thinking about putting Devontae Parker or like even not really Jerome Baker as wait, where is he? Kyle Van Noy. He's a middle linebacker. I thought he was an outside linebacker. Anyway. Yeah, Kyle Van Noy. I was thinking about him, but I did end up going with Byron Jones, their new pickup. Eagles. The Eagles, I had them with the Giants, which means they did lose Fletcher Cox, but they did end up gaining what they might have been needing for a while, and that is Saquon Barkley. Go back to the practice squad. Alright, Falcons. I had them with the Saints. So this is probably the team where I'd say they didn't lose anything. They didn't lose anything, they didn't gain anything. They're basically the same. So I was kind of thinking maybe Drew Brees. No Drew Brees. They didn't lose Matt Ryan. They did end up losing Julio Jones, but also at the same time gaining Michael Thomas. Now if we're going for like overall, Michael Thomas is better by 2 overall, I think. But again, like the Falcons, there's really no loss for them here. Like Julio Jones and Michael Thomas are both probably top 3 receivers in the league, them with DeAndre Hopkins. Alright, 49ers. They ended up losing... We kind of went over this. They ended up losing George Kittle, but they did end up gaining... DeAndre Hopkins, yes. I was trying to think of who they picked up. Oh, Deebo Samuel. I absolutely love this man. He's in one of my, He's in a franchise that I'm playing with right now. And he's an absolute beast for me anyway. But yeah, they ended up getting Nuke Hopkins. This could really help Jimmy Garoppolo out. They could even run the... So, like, there's nothing the Niners can do wrong here. All they're really missing is the tight end position. We're kind of getting to the point where we're kind of repeating stuff at this point, but just kind of showing off. Alright, this team is now god-awful without Saquon Barkley. But they did end up picking up a really good defensive player in Fletcher Cox. Jaguars. I think I ended up trading away Leonard Fournette. I don't know. He's probably their best player. I don't know. They don't have many good players down in Duval County. Who did I have them rivaling with, or with, I had them with, yes, with the Texans. So yeah, now the Texans literally have nothing with the loss of DeAndre Hopkins and now Deshaun Watson. So yeah, this is a huge loss for everyone here. This is a huge loss for everyone except for the Jags, basically, because they still have a decent running back. But now they picked up probably one of my top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Trying to think of my 5 quarterbacks that I'd probably put over him. Mahomes, Lamar, Russ, probably Aaron Rodgers. There's probably another quarterback I'm forgetting, but yeah, the Jaguars are absolutely winning here. Are you winning, son? Alright, so the Jets, I think I already went over this. They ended up losing Jamal Adams, but they ended up picking up Tre'Davious White, yes. So again, here they didn't really lose anything. Like, Jamal Adams is probably better than Tre'Davious White, but they certainly got one of the better deals-ish here. Like, it's not too big of a loss, but still pretty good. I'll just kind of go through this. I got 10 supplements, yes. Alright, Lions. They ended up, alright, I had them with the Green Bay Packers. So they ended up gaining Aaron Rodgers, but also losing Marvin Jones. I don't know. I kind of just went with like a random player that was good. So yeah, it's kind of debating between Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay. I was kind of also thinking of putting Matthew Stafford. Yeah, that guy's pretty good. I don't know if you know this, but Matthew Stafford is pretty good. But I ended up going with Marvin Jones. That's gonna be a problem with Green Bay, isn't it? Alright, but yes, here it is. Alright, so now Green Bay has Devonta Adams, Marvin Jones Jr., and Devin Funchess, which is a really good receiving core, but again, now they don't got a quarterback to throw them to. They got Jordan Love, who I honestly don't see them working out yet soon. So they're probably going to end up trying to trade for a quarterback or something. I'm not sure. Next is the Panthers. Yes, they did lose Christian McCaffrey, obviously. Who did I have them with? I had them with Tampa, so they ended up getting Mike Evans. So now they have, holy crap, this is a god squad of a receiving core. Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Curtis Samuel. Holy crap. So Teddy Bridgewater is going to have a lot to work with here. But he's missing a running back. But not, I don't know. The Panthers don't necessarily need a running back when you got a receiving core like this. Patriots. They now have... They were the Dolphins. Alright, I remember what happened. They lost, what's his name? Why can't I think of names? Stephon Gilmore. Jesus Christ, why can't I think of him? But they ended up getting Byron Jones, so it's not as big of a loss as it could have been, but still, like, you just lost the best cornerback in the league, and just kind of and you gained like a decently good one. So yeah, you still have a pretty good secondary anyway. You still have Jason McCourty, Devin McCourty, and frickin' Patrick Chung. Raiders. The Raiders, they did end up getting Von Miller, but they lost Rodney Anderson. That's someone else, isn't it? Rodney Anderson. I feel like that's like a running back. Can't think. Alright. We'll put you there. I don't know what you guys are going to do. He still got a decent offensive line. So yeah, the Raiders ended up kind of winning with this one. I think the Broncos and the Raiders both ended up getting a pretty good deal with this one. Ish. The Rams, they lost. Oh yeah, I was kind of debating whether to do Cooper Kupp, maybe Robert Woods, but then it kind of clicked in my head. Oh wait, they got probably the best defensive player in the league, and Aaron Donald. I'm not sure what position Aaron Donald is, but he's not here obviously. So yeah, they're kind of getting lost there with that one. But they ended up gaining. Who did I put them with? I ended up putting them with the Seattle Seahawks. So now they have probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. They now have Russell Wilson over Jared Goff, which is a pretty big improvement. Jared Goff's pretty good, but we're talking about Russell Wilson. The name I can't say because of this freaking lisp. But yeah, Russell Wilson, that's a pretty big pickup for them. But they did end up losing Aaron Donald. I don't know, you could probably argue that those are the 2 best players at their position. Like, you could probably argue that. Ravens, yes, they ended up losing Lamar Jackson, but they now have a freaking scary defense, especially with Myles Garrett. Alright, he's a left end now. Don't you know if you knew this? I kind of forgot Calais Campbell was there. So yeah, look at this defensive line. They have 93 Myles Garrett at left, 95 Calais Campbell at right, and at defensive tackle they have Brandon Williams. This is freaking disgusting. That is disgusting. Plus they also have new linebacker Patrick Queen. Alright, Redskins. I think they ended up losing like freaking Ryan Kerrigan, and they ended up gaining freaking Ezekiel Elliott. See, like right here, Philip Lindsay. I don't know what he's doing here. He's still on the Denver Broncos. I even checked that out to see if he's here, so I guess I'll probably end up just doing this because you're not supposed to be here. But Zeke is here anyway. Adrian Peterson is probably one of the top running backs in all time. But Ezekiel Elliott, current day, is probably better than him. Alright, the Saints, they ended up losing their star receiver, Michael Thomas, but they did end up picking another star receiver, Julio Jones. So yeah, they didn't lose anything, just like the Falcons didn't, because, well, they obviously traded. But yeah, Seattle Seahawks, they ended up losing Russell Wilson, which is the guy that's been carrying this team for years now. But they ended up gaining, who was they with? They now have, okay, he's a defensive tackle. They now have Aaron frickin' Donald, which is just, Aaron Donald might be, he's obviously a really good pickup, but I don't know if he's worth losing Russell Wilson. I don't know. We'll have to see. Alright, Pittsburgh Steelers, they ended up losing TJ Watt, but they now have Joe Mixon. which isn't something that they necessarily needed because they have James Conner here, but Joe Mixon is still probably a big pickup. I think it's weird because it feels like both teams lost here because the Steelers, they didn't need a running back, but they got a running back, and they just lost a really big thing for their defense. And for the Bengals, you have rookie Joe Burrow coming in. You kind of want like Joe Mixon to be back there to kind of back him up if you need him. So yeah, I feel like both teams lost here. But Joe Mixon is obviously a really good pickup, but they did just lose one of the best defensive players in the league. Alright, Texans. Holy crap, the Texans are not winning, son. Let's just put Leonard Fournette over David Johnson. Just because. It makes more sense and it makes it more worth it, I guess. They ended up picking up Leonard Fournette, but they did end up losing Deshaun Watson, which is a pretty big loss. So, and two more teams. Alright, now the Titans. They are now losing. They lost Derrick Henry, which was basically their entire offense. But they ended up gaining They ended up gaining Quentin Nelson. Not really worth it, but it ended up happening. So sadly for the Titans. And the Vikings. This is kind of a weird one. Because they did lose Harrison Smith. They lost Harrison Smith, which is a pretty big loss. Wait, who's their second strong safety? Fields. Alright, never mind. But they ended up getting 97. '97 overall Cleo Mack. Wait a minute, he was an outside linebacker. What are they doing? Why would you start him over? I didn't do that, mate. I guess we'll put him on the defensive line. I think Daniel Hunter earned his spot there. Alright. I think he was a left outside linebacker, which they could have used, by the way. Or right outside linebacker. They didn't need that. They have Anthony Barr. Wait, what do they need here? I'll help them out a bit. 74 or a 73. It doesn't really matter. I think Cleo Mack is a bit more useful on the defensive line anyway. So now that we've gone through every single team, I want to see what would happen and how many like MVPs have changed. So I guess we're going to kind of sim to the playoffs. Let's just sim to the playoffs, boys. This is also a video that I've kind of been wanting to do for a while now. This has been a video that I've been wanting to do for, I think I thought of it like a month ago. I just never ended up doing it. And now the thing about that is now that I have to do it with these freaking braces on. And I think I don't get these off until like 2 more months. Or at least don't get to go back to the orthodontist for like 2 more months. And I didn't want to hold back on this video or making YouTube videos for 2 months. Even though it kind of feels like I've been doing that with not uploading, like uploading once or twice a week now. That's pretty different from when I was uploading every single day for a couple months. Kind of a big change. A really big change, by the way, actually. Because, like, I had over 500 videos. And I was thinking about making number 600 my last. I haven't ever quite decided what I'm doing. See, I think I could find it. I've had 540 videos. This might be my 441st. Oh boy. I have no clue what I'm doing with my YouTube at this point. At first it ended up being something like, oh yay, I'll do this for fun. And for a while it was that. Then it kind of turned into a hobby. Then it kind of just turned into something that I felt like I had to do. Alright, so as it seems, I think the Bengals didn't make it. Crap. Alright, I kind of want to get into stats before I look at it. Alright, let's look at who's, like, leading the league and such. Alright, Drew Brees ends up leading the league. And he wasn't anywhere different. Philip Rivers... So it seems that Drew Brees actually does better with Julio Jones, maybe. Philip Rivers, with Derrick Henry, actually. So it doesn't look like they ran it that much. Matt Ryan also looking like he's thriving with, Michael Thomas. Aaron Rodgers on the Lions doing pretty well with, Kenny Golladay and some of that offense there. Ryan Tannehill doing surprisingly well without Derrick Henry, so it looks like he has to throw the ball a bit more. Patrick Mahomes on the Chargers is doing all right. He's doing pretty well with Keenan Allen. He's doing pretty well with Austin Eckler, Hunter Henry. AJ McCarron, the second string for the Texans. So, he does pretty well. He doesn't do too bad. Russell Wilson on the Rams does pretty well. Cooper Kupp. Lamar on the Browns does pretty well with Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. Joe Burrow comes in with his rookie season over 4,000 yards. Is that pretty good? That's pretty good. I think it was like top 10. He comes in, does pretty well without Joe Mixon. With especially with AJ Green, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, John Ross. Daniel Jones is doing better without Saquon Barkley because he has to throw the ball more. Yes. Jared Stidham just coming out and doing it all. I think this roster was made well before Cam Newton. Teddy Bridgewater doing well when he doesn't have to throw the ball. I'm trying to tell, like, I'm kind of just looking out for some of the interesting ones now. Alright, Drew Lock. He does decent. He does pretty well under, Rodney Hudson as well. Nothing happened with Josh Allen. Devin Hodges comes in, does pretty well. He does pretty well. Chad Heen, I don't know how to say your name there, bud. Does pretty well. Jimmy G coming in, doing alright. See, he now had, D-Hop. Jordan Love coming in, filling the hole for Aaron Rodgers, especially with, Marvin Jones, Devonta Adams and stuff. Tom Brady, not doing too well. Tua does decently well. Dak, Kyler does well even without D-Hop. Without Rodney Hudson, Derek Carr. These are not the best numbers starting around here, yeah. So, yeah. Alright, rushing. Alvin Kamara comes in. Really? Alright. He didn't change. Ezekiel Elliott on the Redskins does really well. Christian McCaffrey on the Buccaneers does really well. Mark Ingram, probably getting the ball a lot more without Lamar. Damian Williams probably got the ball a bit more without Patrick Mahomes. Kerryon Johnson getting some yards even with Aaron Rodgers being there. Cam Akers, he's a rookie, yes. He is a rookie. There's not much to say about him. Melvin Gordon doing pretty good. He does pretty good with Denver. Le'Veon Bell actually breaking 1,000 yards with Adam Gase. Alright, Aaron Jones is probably getting the ball a bit more without Aaron Rodgers. Joe Mixon on the Steelers getting nearly 1,000 yards. So he doesn't do as well on the Steelers as he does the Bengals. That's kind of weird considering the Steelers' offensive line. Alright, I kind of want to look at this. Ben Roethlisberger not doing too well either. He did alright, but nothing to get really excited about. Alright, Todd Gurley on the Falcons does pretty well, even with Michael Thomas being there. Nick Chubb, alright, I was looking at carries, and I was like, oh wait, that's not that much. No, rushing yards, he does pretty well, even with Lamar there. Kenyon Drake, nothing really changed with that offense, really. Oh, George Kittle went there, didn't he? Yeah, he's getting some good. Genovi Bernard coming up, doing pretty well. Since they're missing Joe Mixon. Austin Eckler doing pretty good. Saquon Barkley on the Eagles, doing alright. Derrick Henry coming in with barely over 800 yards with the Colts. Deion Lewis coming in with almost 800 yards from Saquon being gone. Marlon Mack coming in with nearly 800 yards, even while being under Derrick Henry. See, look at this. Derrick Henry got 802, and Marlon Mack got 759. There might have been an injury or something. Who knows? Keenan Allen with Patrick Mahomes is leading the league. Julio Jones on the Saints, doing really well. Michael Thomas on the Falcons, also doing really well. Danny Amendola, the third string on the Lions. No, he's the second string. Still does pretty well. Josh Reynolds, don't even quite know who you are. 77, alright, so you're not bad. Odell Beckham Jr. with Lamar Jackson does pretty well. Marquise Goodwin, he does well. Mike Evans on the Panthers, putting over 1,000 yards for like the 7th time in his career. D-Hop, putting over 1,000 yards on the San Francisco 49ers. AJ Green, yay, he got 1,000 yards. We did it. Chris Godwin without Mike Evans gets a little bit below 1,000. I think that's a little bit down from what he usually does. I don't know. Alright, Amari Cooper, nothing. Or, Amari Cooper. Oh, here's Amari Cooper, so I was probably looking at that. I don't know. I don't know what goes on with my mind. T.Y. Hilton, what actually happened with that team? They ended up getting Derrick Henry. Oh, so this team overall did pretty well. Alright, Amari Cooper doesn't get 1,000 yards, even without Ezekiel Elliott. Tre'Quan Smith, someone I don't really know of, probably getting more opportunities with Michael Thomas being gone. Cooper Kupp does pretty well with Russ. Russ went there, right? Philip Dorsett getting pretty good yardage even without Russ. Tyreek Hill, you'd expect him to get a lot more than that, but since there's no Patrick Mahomes, he doesn't get there. Allen Robinson, you don't really expect too much from him anymore. Juju Smith-Schuster, pretty well down here. You'd expect him to go over 1,000 yards. I guess they might be handing the ball off to Mixon a bit more. A.J. Brown getting some decent yards. While looking at Juju Smith-Schuster, I looked down and saw A. Brown, and I was like, oh crap, Antonio Brown, gotta talk about this fool again. He does pretty well without Derrick Henry. Calvin Ridley does pretty well under Michael Thomas. Jarvis Landry doing alright with Lamar thrown to him. Adam Thielen all the way down here. Putting up some decent yardage with nothing really happened to that offense, did it? No, it was all defense. KJ Hamler, the rookie. Alright, defense. I kind of want to see. I'm probably just going to kind of scroll through this barely. Alright, Alexander Johnson. 78 overall on the Denver Broncos. Alright, Levante David. Nothing really important happened. Apparently, a lot of our defensive players didn't really thrive too much. Apparently, defensive players didn't quite thrive. Huh. Alright, what about, sacks? Myles Garrett on the Ravens getting some pretty good sackage. Geno Hackins, yay, we did it. Chase Young coming in, getting it done. Nothing else really important. Khalil Mack coming in with 9 sacks. DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard both getting 8.5. And that's about it. What about interceptions? Derwin James coming in with 7 interceptions. Shaquille Griffin kind of following up with 6. Denzel Ward, Tre'Davious White, there we go. There's someone. Alright. Alright. Alright, let's look at some yearly awards. Lamar Jackson on the Cleveland Browns gets the league MVP. Aaron Rodgers on the Lions comes in second. Matt Ryan with Michael Thomas comes in third. Patrick Mahomes on the Chargers comes in fourth. Drew Brees with Julio Jones comes in fifth. Russell Wilson on the Rams comes in sixth. Phillip Rivers with Derrick Henry at running back comes in seventh. Ryan Tannehill without Derrick Henry gets eighth. Josh Allen and Mr. Trubisky. Why do these people always come? Coach of the Year goes to Freddie Kitchens. You don't really ever expect that, do you? Alright, in the AFC, Robert Griffin III coming in at number 7. Jared Stidham, Joe Burrow and Tua coming in. Top 10 offensive players of the year. I haven't even really looked at the standings yet. Alright, defensive players of the year. No big people that were on a different team happened. Myles Garrett coming in at number 9. Alright, offensive rookie of the year goes to Joe Burrow. The real rookie here goes to Joe Burrow, to kind of following up. Darrynton Evans. I don't know quite who that is. Defensive rookie of the year goes to Kenneth Murray on the Chargers. Best quarterback goes to Lamar. Best running back that went to a different team is Joe Mixon. Nice. Best wide receiver that went to a different team, maybe? Kind of want to look for who thrived the best on a different team. Nothing really happened. Alright. Keenan Allen did come in with best wide receiver with Patrick Mahomes thrown to him. Offensive lineman Quentin Nelson on the Titans comes in, does pretty well. Rodney Hudson on the Broncos comes in third. Defensive lineman Geno Atkins. There's some players where I'm like, just for no reason, that I'm very proud of just because they're Bengals here. Joe Mixon did really well. Geno Atkins did really well. Looks like Joe Burrow did really well. Alright, Myles Garrett coming in. Alright, linebackers. Nothing really quite happened. Hey, Josh Bynes made it. Defensive backs, N8. Alright, Tre'Davious White came in number 3. Kicker, does that even matter? Nope, it doesn't. Alright. Alright, now time to look at the standings. Alright, the Saints with Julio Jones. Julio, yes. Comes in 12-3-1. The Browns with Lamar comes in 12-4. Seattle Seahawks with Aaron Donald without Russell Wilson comes in 11-5. The Rams with Russell Wilson and without Aaron Donald comes in 11-5 as well. Oh, that's pretty interesting, actually. Ravens without Lamar but with Myles Garrett comes in 11-5. Lions without Marvin Jones and with Lamar comes in 11-5 as well. Falcons with Michael Thomas and without Julio Jones go 10-6 but do not make the playoffs. The Colts without Quentin Nelson and with Derrick Henry come in 10-6 to make the playoffs. Packers without Aaron Rodgers but with Marvin Jones comes in 10-6. The Bills will come in without Tre'Davious White but with Jamal Adams to come in 10-6 to make the playoffs. Oh wow, the Vikings went 10-6 with Khalil Mack but without Harrison Smith. They go 10-6 to miss the playoffs. Cowboys 9-6-1 without Ezekiel Elliott, but with Ryan Kerrigan, which doesn't really make a difference. Go 9-6-1 and make the playoffs. Raiders without Rodney Hudson. I always forget his last name. Rodney Hudson. Who did they get? Von Miller. They got 9-7. And the last team to make the playoffs was the Chargers without Joey Bosa and with Patrick Mahomes. Oh, yes. Worst team in the league will go to the Jacksonville Jaguars without Leonard Fournette and with Deshaun Watson. Ah, my Bengals. No. They went 5-11 and became the third worst. Wow, the Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes go 5-11. The Niners without George Kittle, but also with D-Hop, go 6-10. I don't know why. Madden always does them really dirty. Texans without Deshaun Watson go 6-10. Just some interesting things here and there. Alright. I think that's about all there is to it. And let's see who goes to the Super Bowl. It's probably going to be something like the Browns versus the Saints. It's probably going to be Browns versus Saints. That'd be a Super Bowl that my dad would probably love to see, but I would kind of like to see. I hate the Browns, but I love the Saints. I got a Drew Brees jersey sitting over there. I should go grab that if the Saints are in the Super Bowl. I'm going to go hold on to that for good luck. If they do make it. Oh! Oh! Is that not a surprise, everybody? We have the freaking Detroit Lions with Aaron Rodgers going against and they're also missing Marvin Jones, I should probably say. Going against the Baltimore Ravens without Lamar Jackson and with Myles Garrett. Alright, so it is the Lions. It is the Lions, but they do have Aaron Rodgers, and I also do have an Aaron Rodgers jersey. Might as well hold on to it for good luck. Can the Lions get their first ever Super Bowl? But let's first check out what happened. Oh, crap. Playoff schedule. Alright, oh, yes. So, nice number 12. Alright. Alright, and the wild card. Alright, Patrick Mahomes and without Joey Bosa will lose to the Buffalo Bills. Without Tre'Davious White, but with Jamal Adams. Oh wow, this was interesting. The Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers, but with Marvin Jones, will lose to the Detroit Lions with Aaron Rodgers and without Marvin Jones. And the Ravens will beat the Ravens without Lamar Jackson, but with Myles Garrett will beat the Oakland Raiders without Rodney Hudson and Von Miller. And the Los Angeles Rams with Russell Wilson and without Aaron Donald will beat the Cowboys without Ezekiel Elliott but with Ron Kerrigan. Then in the divisional, the Ravens without Lamar, with Myles Garrett, I'll keep on saying it, will beat the Browns with Lamar and without Myles Garrett. Oh, that was a very close game there. The Rams without Aaron Donald with Russell Wilson will beat the Saints with Julio Jones but without Michael Thomas. Oh my God! It's the Rams versus the Saints and the Rams won by 1 point. I'm just now letting that sink in that in the divisional game it's the Rams versus the Saints. Holy crap, I wonder how the Saints got screwed over in that one. I guess in the first game it was the conference championship, but alright, the Bills without Travis White with Jamal Adams will lose to the Colts with Derrick Henry and without Quentin Nelson. And then finally, the Detroit Lions with Aaron Rodgers without Marvin Jones will beat the Seattle Seahawks without Russell Wilson and with Aaron Donald. Then in the conference, the Ravens, alright, say it with me, the Ravens without Lamar Jackson but with Myles Garrett will beat the Colts with Derrick Henry without Quentin Nelson. I'm being really bad with names today. I just can't talk overall. By 1.2. And then, say it with me, the Rams without Aaron Donald but with Russell Wilson will lose by 7 points to the Lions with Aaron Rodgers without Marvin Jones. And then it's the Super Bowl. Alright, I'm going to be holding on. Alright. And editor, put in some music. Alright, put in some dramatic music, editor. Oh yes, the live stream, and my editor is too lazy because he's me. Alright, I'm holding on to the Aaron Rodgers jersey. Will the Lions get their first ever Super Bowl? No! Haha, no! I was really hoping the Lions would win that. Just because I got an Aaron Rodgers jersey doesn't mean I hate the Lions, by the way. Well, it's pretty obvious if I was cheering for them. Alright. So the Ravens without Lamar Jackson, but with Myles Garrett, will win the Super Bowl. That's really interesting. And holy crap, is the Cincinnati Bengals offense really bad without Joe Mixon. Oh, it's probably because I didn't re-sign some people. Oh, yay, we let Bobby Hart go, didn't we? Did we let Bobby Hart go? Please tell me we did. Please tell me the Bengals finally let. Will this help any? Oh, Joe Burrow got 4 upgrades. Nice. So he should be like, what, an 80 overall now? Slagging. There we go. 50 players. Jesus. Are we any better now? Oh, 85 overall defense. Nice. I kind of want to see in free agency if we finally let Bobby Hart walk. Well, I wasn't there to control it. So please tell me we let Bobby Hart walk. Wait, when do we start to go into free agency? Oh yeah, I think I set it for automatic. I think I set everything to kind of automatic. Apparently it still didn't work. General says sure. I like John Ross in this game anyway. More of them. TJ Watt. There any more? I'm just wanting to make sure that Bobby Hart is nowhere, and that he is nowhere. Alright, we got Shaquille Barrett. Hey, the Bengals got Shaquille Barrett. Alright. Hopefully, Bobby Hart isn't anywhere because he is utter trash and I hate that guy so much. But anyway, that was it for us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. If you enjoyed, hit like, subscribe, and as always, FinJJ right here, classic YouTube outro. Peace. Why don't